Do you sometimes feel shitty, isolated, disconnected from other people? You feel like there's this invisible wall between you and them? Then pay very close attention right now, because in this video I'm going to discuss what it means to be in a high state or a low state. In a high state where you feel abundant, happy, connected, or in a low state where you feel disconnected, isolated, and shitty. Enjoy. So let's crack right into it. Every human on this earth has experienced trauma in their life. And I know trauma is a heavy word. Most people think like, oh, I haven't experienced any trauma. I haven't been to war and had my leg blown off. But for a child, like every child gets traumatized. And for a child, a traumatic situation can be as simple as a mother looking away in a grocery store. Because trauma depends on the person and the perceived inner resources it has to make it through the situation. So for example, if you're a child and you get lost in a grocery store, for example, then this can be traumatic because you think, oh my God, I lost my parents and my parents are necessary for me to survive. And now I'm in the wilderness kind of, and I'm going to die. A lot of symptoms you still have trauma to this day are, for example, social anxiety, feeling disconnected, feeling isolated, being unhappy, having depression, etc., etc. And depression, for example, is just a symptom of trauma that you have suppressed or repressed in your subconsciousness, and you have disowned those feelings, and these feelings cause to feel you in a low state kind of. You just feel in a bad mood all the time, you get triggered all the time. Those are feelings or experiences or emotions that you have put in your subconscious. And as you probably know, your subconscious is way stronger than your consciousness. So I probably know these illustrations where 90% of your whole mind is subconscious and 10% is only the conscious. And out of your subconsciousness do the beliefs you have are coming from, the perspective you have on life, for example, your thoughts. A lot of thoughts come from your subconsciousness, and also how you perceive the world. For example, you probably know some days where the colors are really bright and you feel really light, and you walk through the streets and you just feel amazing and you're like, oh, I'm feeling great now. But there are other times as well where the colors just feel a little bit empty, everything just feels a little bit boring, a little bit bland. And that's a lot of the times when you're triggered, and it also depends on the person, how much trauma you have experienced or how many feelings and emotions you have disowned. And what's really important to understand here is that you gotta bring those emotions, sensations, and feelings up in your consciousness in a controlled way and process them in a natural way. Because those feelings and emotions wanna vanish on their own, but the reason they stay there is because you try to resist them. And by resisting them, you're labeling them as bad, which just fuels the negative label. And the key thing to getting out of this is not labeling them as bad, but rather appreciating them and accepting them and welcoming them. And then those sensations and feelings and emotions, they want to leave on its own. Because a lot of people have this conception, oh, I just gotta run away from my inner negativity, and I just gotta achieve this or accomplish this, or I gotta get to this certain point, and then I feel happy, confident until the end of time. But that obviously is a myth, and the approach you should be doing is turning around and facing all of that shit directly. It's like you're a child again, and there's a closet, and your parents and everyone you know tells you there is a monster in the closet, and you're so afraid, and you know you gotta open the closet, and you know you're so afraid, you're like, oh shit, I can't open the closet, I can't open the closet, and you're shaking so much and like, oh my God, I can't open the closet. And then you finally do it, and you realize there is no monster inside, there is nothing, it's been a bluff, bluff the whole time. And that's what you also gotta do by facing your inner feelings that you have abandoned. And the way you're doing this is with letting go. There are two main approaches you can do it. There's the outer approach and there is the inner approach. The outer approach is you being triggered in an external situation that is uncomfortable for you. For example, if you are someone who experiences a lot of social anxiety, you can go into a venue that is maybe a little bit louder and it's slightly uncomfortable for you, and you just gotta feel the emotions that come up and not resisting them and not labeling them as bad, but just being with them. And I bet after a couple of seconds you do this instead of labeling, oh, this is bad, I just gotta get rid of this. You will already feel better and you will already have released a little bit of the charge behind it. And the inner approach is guided meditations, which will be a lot more, which will release on this channel, and there will be a lot of upcoming videos about it. And the inner approach is the permanent approach, where it doesn't bother you or trigger you at all anymore. Because a lot of things in the personal development realm are just treating the symptom and not going to the root cause. For example, again, someone who experienced social anxiety, this feeling of social anxiety is just a symptom. Behind it, there is a root cause, and if you resolve this by releasing those emotions, this trauma, this charge it has behind on you, all of a sudden this social anxiety fades away. Or if you're afraid of being alone, or if you're afraid of failing in life, for example, this has always something to do with either past experiences or the way you have been conditioned. And the more you reflect on this, the more you can release the charge behind it, and the better you will feel, the lighter you will feel after some time as well, and the more amazing your life will get, and you will get in this whole upward spiral, and your life will just become absolutely amazing. If you've enjoyed this video, like and subscribe. I will read through every single comment myself personally, and stay tuned for the upcoming videos, because we will discuss these topics way more deeply in the future. Until next time, servus.